Welcome to RidgeLife. It's a beautiful January day, and it's abnormally warm. It's in the 60s today. Beautiful blue sky, breeze, and I'm sitting out here in a field between two active honeybee colonies. Now, honeybees become active about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. I mentioned earlier it's in the 60s. So these bees are flying. They've been cooped up in their hives for many days because it's been below 55 degrees, and now they're out and about. Probably would say it's kind of foolish of me to be out here, right? The funny thing is I'm allergic to bees, and I've got 100 of them flying on me on this side and a couple hundred flying on this side, and there are probably 20,000 bees in that box and 30,000 bees in that box, and you're like 50,000 bees on either side of me, just over an arm's length away, and I'm allergic. And you're saying that's foolish. It kind of goes along with today's lessons from the Ridge. On today's lesson from the Ridge, I'd like to read from Ecclesiastes 10, 1 through 6. Dead flies make a perfumer's oil stink. So a little foolishness is weightier than wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart directs him toward the right, but the foolish man's heart directs him towards the left. Even when the fool walks along the road, his sense is lacking, and he demonstrates to everyone that he is a fool. If the ruler's temper rises against you, do not abandon your position, because composure allays great offenses. There is an evil I have seen under the sun, like an error which goes forth from the ruler. Folly is set in many exalted places, while rich men sit in humble places. Again, that's Ecclesiastes 10, 1 through 6. It kind of makes me think of the things that we hold dear as people, and how foolish some of them are. You know, we're all trying to compete for, the biggest house, or the best job, or the nicest car, or the prettiest wife, or the kids with the most success. And sure, those are all very good things to strive for, but to hold them dear and valuable as opposed to God's creations. The gifts and the blessings He's bestowed upon you, and to hold those dear first before the things of man, because those things aren't I wouldn't say they're not blessed by God, but they're not graces of God. So the foolishness of sitting out here between two collies and bees when you're allergic is kind of a misnomer in this situation. A wise man understands his surroundings. He understands what God has given him, and he values it. He takes it to heart. I've been working with these bees now for a couple years, and when I first started, I did things that were very foolish. I've been stung 12 times probably on different occasions. So in our verse here, it says, "Dead flies make a perfumer's oil stink. So a little foolishness is weightier than wisdom and honor." So all the wisdom in the world we have can be thrown away by that one act of foolishness. The drinking of alcohol to excess, the use of drugs. I mean, we're wiser than that, yet one night of getting behind the wheel while intoxicated can ruin your life and those around you. It's just an ounce of foolishness. The verse says, "A wise man's heart directs him towards the right, but the foolish man's towards the left." And that's so true, because the heart's a wicked thing, and when we follow our heart, it can take us directly into the swarm of bees. But when we follow God's ways, it can guide us through this narrow path. I am seriously between two giant death boxes, To me, if I was to take that lid off and stick my hands down there and shake them, I would die. It would be 50,000 bees on either side of me. I would die. But God's path is a narrow path. And if we follow it, we can go through these dire straits, these harmful times. And that's what we're in. We're in harmful times. I'm not saying end times, because only God knows when that's happening. But we are in harmful times. But if you follow God's path that He set out for you in the Bible, we will walk through tough times with strength, courage, through God's grace and mercy. And we will not get stung. We will not perish. Now, we may feel tribulation, or I should say persecution. Tribulation is hell on earth. Brother Steve, our pastor at our church, talked about, the times of tribulation today, and we won't see that. If you're a follower of Christ, we won't see those times of tribulation, because we're going to be separated. But until then, we will be persecuted. We will have to walk between colonies of bees throughout our life. And it's through God's grace and mercy that we walk through it unscathed. Yes, we will get dirty. Yes, we will get hurt. Yes, we will get tread upon. But we will be lifted up. We will have the strength to move on. The wind may blow, and tragedy may happen in our lives, but it's through this storm we will again show our strength, our light that has been given us. It's a gift of mercy that we've been given, that allows us to shine light upon the world to show that we are followers of Christ. Even when the fool walks along the road, his sense is lacking, and he demonstrates to everyone that he is a fool. So even the lost can walk the narrow path. The narrow path isn't forbidden, but you can see that their eyes are turning at every opportunity of sin, just like a lot of ours are. But treading on that path to go left and go right will get you stung. And the foolish man, you can see he's always looking for that next pleasurable thing. Whereas, those that have given up that way, the new man, put on the new skin, can see the folly in it. When you're lost, you don't see the folly in it. You may feel it the next day. You don't sense it at the time. You just think you're living life. But once your eyes have been opened, you can see that way is not good. It's not fruitful, and it will hurt me. Now, a lot of us, that are saved are still tempted, and we still take our little jaunts off to the left and to the right, and we feel that same pain. But we know we feel regret. We feel our conscience, which is again that gift of the Spirit inside of us, saying that wasn't good, that wasn't right, and I don't need to be there again. The verse also says, "There is an evil I have seen under the sun, like an error which goes forth from the ruler. Folly is set in many exalted places, while rich men sit in humble places." You can be poor and be rich. That sounds like an oxymoron or an impossibility, but to sit in a humble place, a solitary field, no skyscrapers, no gold Rolex, and I can be a rich man sitting here between two colonies of bees in a little bitty 1 acre field, and be the richest man on earth. I feel like I'm seriously the richest man on earth with my little piece of heaven out here on the ridge. It's just a blessing every day to come out here to see what God's given me, allowed me to use. This is truly God's country, and I thank Him every day for letting me partake of it while I'm here on this earth. Because, for man to say any of this is ours, it's going to be here, long after we're gone. It was here long before we got here. So again, I just thank Him so much. So, and there are so many, rich people that take, they relish in their folly, because they're struggling for the next thing to accomplish, to give, because it doesn't satisfy them. They're empty inside, and they're reaching forth for something that's unattainable through their own volition. Once you humble yourself, get down and put your rubber boots on and get dirty and tend to God's creatures, tend to the land, tend to the things that He's given us, it makes us realize that the blessings are in the small things, and it makes us so much happier with what we're given, what we have now, and the place we are in life. So today I talked about foolishness, and when we first sat down here between 50,000 bees, a lot of you thought, that boy is foolish. You can see these bees flying everywhere around me. And I'm not foolish. I am on the straight and narrow path between two storms. And I feel protected. I feel a hedge of protection around me that has been the gift of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I hope someone is taken away a little bit from this lesson on the Ridge today, other than just Tim's a crazy person and just between bees. But there is more to it, and I hope some of you have taken that. And I just wish everyone a wonderful day, and look forward to doing fun things with you throughout this week. And until then, have a blessed day and go RidgeLife.